Sunday night, and when you know, Sunday night's when everything just gets so fucked up. It's the second triad. The first time try fucker locks up on me. So this is take two. Note before we begin, this is not a sports video, but unlike what I've done in the past when it's not a sports video and I just lock out comments, video responses, I'm going to make an exception here because, well, the subject matter sort of deems it. Excuse me for doing this, but it's just get tiring after a while. By now, everybody knows the story that came out of Tucson on Saturday afternoon, where a Democratic Congresswoman named Gabrielle Giffords, I had it right, was doing basically a meet and greet at a shopping mall in Tucson when some right-wing teabag fascist nut job starts opening fire. Now they have estimated, or taken a real educated guess, that the Congresswoman was the focal point of this assassination attempt. But in the process, there were 18 other people involved, excluding the Congresswoman. There were 18 other people who wound up being hit by hail bullets. 6 people died. One was a federal judge, one was an aide to the Congresswoman. One to get you is a 9-year-old girl. And still they don't know exactly what set this fuck off. I keep wondering why there isn't martial law in Arizona, but then you gotta understand, this is Arizona we're talking about. They've been fucked up for years there, you know, immigration reform and, you know, all that crazy ass shit. But, you know, and it pains me really to say this, and actually standing and talk about this, because I do have relatives that live in Arizona, but they're not, you know, they're not at that mentality. But that is where it is. 6 people. The Congresswoman gets a hit, you know, gets a shot in the head. Last anybody knew, she's still in the hospital. They say it's a critical condition, but at least some say she's improving. I don't really. Nobody really will know for certain. But that is not why I am doing this video tonight. That's not why I'm doing this. Maybe part of the reason, but a lot has happened really in the past, well, almost 36 hours. Almost, let's say almost 31 hours, because this was like 1 o'clock. Well, let's see, 1 o'clock Mountain, 3 o'clock Eastern, I don't know. But at any rate, what's going on is that the sheriff of Pima County, Arizona, that's metropolitan Tucson, basically said that the environment that has been going on in Arizona for quite some time is responsible for this level of hatred, vitriol. Those are his words, not really mine, but I'd have to agree with it. And really, I will say that if you want to find out who really is responsible for the environment that has brought this about, all you got to do is look in the mirror. You're just as much to blame as, well, the people in Arizona, people in, you know, basically the teabagging fascists who have taken over the House of Representatives, and just about, and really, I would also say our General Assembly here in Virginia, not to mention 3 high offices in our state. It's all fascism, folks, believe me. But Point is, everybody's to blame. Nobody wants to take the responsibility of accepting that blame. But as I said again, this is not why I was making the video. The reason I'm doing this is, actually, I actually learned of this story last night. It was around 11 o'clock or so. So I did not know this had happened in the afternoon. So in tuning in, I noticed the CNN was doing their job. Fox News, even though I have found Fox News to be morally and ethically repugnant, at least they were doing this story. At least they were covering it. Which then would make you beg, or make one beg to ask, where was MSNBC during all this? Oh, they're showing lockup from Rikers Island. I'm still looking at this, I'm like, this is something that should be of importance, and you're not covering this? So I figured, well, maybe they want to crawl there like around midnight. No. Hey, it's a lockup marathon until sunrise. I never thought I would ever live to see the day when broadcast journalism becomes poisoned by the same hatred you're seeing across the political spectrum. Any respect anybody had for MSNBC up to this point went away on Saturday. Oh, sure, they were doing something this morning, or even into the afternoon, I should say. They were covering it in the afternoon, but no, this is like a day too late. I don't know what to make of it, folks, really. I don't know what to make of it. But this is where we've come now. That we've allowed broadcast journalism, and to an extent online journalism as well, to become so filled with hatred, mistrust, vitriol, call it whatever the fuck you want. Mainstream media just is sold out. You can forget about mainstream media. I said it once upon a time. Fox News scares people because it's basically fascism television. MSNBC really showed their agenda. They changed their logo and they changed their idea for place for politics. Now it's like lean forward. Oh, guess what? You just tipped your hand. You just spelled out your political agenda in 2 words. CNN will always say it goes which way the wind shifts. And I've said it National Public Radio. You know what it really is. They play the music they were playing over the loudspeakers at Auschwitz when they were marching 6 million Jews, gypsies, and gays into the ovens. That's National Public Radio. Don't let anybody bullshit you otherwise. But this is what's happened. You can't trust anything that you read or see or hear. And one thing, I was watching all this yesterday, and I started thinking, and you have to understand that I'm not doing this out of, any sense of ghoulishness or being macabre or anything like that. But I just wondered, where's the video of the shootings that was taking place? Because we live now in a society and in a culture that revolves around all types of social networking. You don't care if it's MySpace or Facebook or Twitter, and even I do, or even YouTube, which I'm doing right now. Ustream or whatever. We've become conditioned as a culture because of social networking that if we don't see anything, if we don't see it, does it really exist? Did it really happen? Again, I'm just saying that it's only because you would have to have the visual of this to really understand what was going on. But we'll never know that. So, that is it. I can't really think of anything else that I can add to it, take from it, whatever. I'm just putting this out here. You want to comment? Great. You want to do a video response, that's great. But you know what? I can fucking care less what you think. I don't. I stopped giving a fuck about immunity a long time ago. So, this doesn't really matter. So, on that note, I am going to leave you all, not with my usual thing, because this is not anything to be jovial about. The culture has to change, folks. That's all I have to say. So, that's it. The next move, I guess, is up to you or anybody else. You want to change the fucking culture of hatred and distrust and all of that. Well, the only place to start is look in the fucking mirror. That's it, folks.